Sorting out through old events. This is what Days of Healing, Days of Joy is talking about. Why should we spend time looking at the past? What relevance does it have with stopping masturbating or cheating on partners or using pornography? How can the past have anything to do with our current sexual behavior? Because who we are comes from where we have been. It has to do with the way we were raised. Did we have good boundaries? That means when people were harming us, did somebody protect us? Did we have good limits? Were we able to say to our parents and to our teachers and to our friends, you know, I don't feel comfortable with that. I can do this much, but I might not be able to do this because then I would feel uncomfortable. Because when I get beyond my limits, I feel rage and I want to do something about it. And one of the ways, pornography and masturbation is a very angry act. If I go beyond my limits, then I act out sexually. So if I learned in the past not to announce my limits, or not to be able to set boundaries. And if you don't know what setting boundaries are, for example, if someone's smoking in your house, you don't say, well, you have to quit smoking. You say, if you want to smoke, that's your business, but you can't do it in my house or around my children. That's called boundary setting. So boundary setting on the one hand, and announcement of limits on the other hand. If I didn't learn those things in my childhood or my adolescence, then I'm not going to know how to do that as an adult. And the consequence, the emotional consequence, is I feel rage when somebody asks me to do something and I can't say no. I'm a people pleaser and a doormat. And I feel rage when somebody's doing something hurtful to me and I can't say, you know, I need you to stop doing that. So if I can't set limits, announce limits, or set boundaries, the consequence is rage or resentment, and then I act out with porn. So I need to look back and say, did I learn that as a child? Was I taught boundary setting? Was I taught limit announcement? Did I learn those things? Did I learn, the third thing is, did I learn to be in touch with my feelings? So I can say, you know, I feel hurt when you do that. Or I feel lonely, or I feel sad, or I feel angry when you say or act that way. If I haven't learned to be in touch with my feelings, I'm not going to have good relationships. I'm going to feel uncomfortable in the world, and then I'll need to run, I'll need to hide, which is a very cowardly, not courageous or heroic thing to do. I need to be able to feel how I feel. And if I haven't learned that, I need to look back. And why? Because it gives me a sense of compassion. It gives me a sense of compassion toward myself. It gives me a sense of compassion toward my mother and my father and my teachers and my priests and my friends and my abusers and whoever did not teach me how to be a healthy grown-up, which is why I'm acting out. So if I want to stop acting out, one of the tools is to look back so that I develop a sense of compassion and patience and even